Hello. We have to say hello back. It is your host, Captain Boring. Soundbites are working as of this moment. They weren't just a minute ago, so cross your fingers, hope to die, stick a needle in thy eye. This is your 10-minute sports report. It is Monday. I did a Tuesday, Thursday sports report last week. It's Monday. Will I release one Tuesday? Will I release one Wednesday? Will I never release one ever again? Who knows? This is the fun of the 10-minute sports report. Brought to you by 4th and 1 Podcast. Don't forget to go listen to an all-new episode of the 4th and 1 Podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Google, wherever you get your podcasts. Go ahead and take a listen. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at 4th and 1 Podcast. Always posting good stuff there. Let's get down to brass tacks. Soundbite still working. Win for Micaiah. Well, Michigan's going to suspend Jim Harbaugh for 3 games to start the 2023 season. Again, this is all stemming from alleged violations committed during the COVID-19 recruiting dead period, the university announced on Monday. The University of Michigan is trying to do this to appease the NCAA. This was looked at by the University of Michigan as the minimal amount that Jim Harbaugh could potentially face in the future. Tennessee did this kind of most recently a little bit ago. The NCAA was investigating them for recruiting violations that happened under the former coach, the one before Josh Heupel. His name escapes me currently. And so they did self-imposed probation and scholarship sanctions, and that was good enough. The NCAA made them pay just some money on top of that. So, will this be enough to satisfy the NCAA? No one knows. It is going through the whole NCAA process right now, and the rules committee will have to take a look at it, and which could take 6 or 7 months. So this could even stem into next year. The NCAA is always a dollar short and a dollar late, whatever that saying is. I said it right the other podcast. What do you guys want from me? Lowest salary teams in baseball. By the way, it's 5 days until college football. It is less than that it's more than that until Michigan football. So it's like 12 days until Michigan football. I figured it out. Sometimes I'm smart. The Baltimore Orioles are on a 3-game winning streak. They swept the Oakland Athletics, soon to be the Vegas Athletics, 9-4, 7-2, 12-1. They still have not been swept at all this season. They've done the sweeping this season, and even into last season, they have at least won 1 game in every series since 2021, May of 2021, I think. They now are 30 games over 500, 77 and 47, and they sit 3 games ahead of the Tampa Bay Rays. Speaking of the Tampa Bay Rays, they are on a 1-game winning streak. They beat the Angels 9-6, then lost to the Angels 9-6, and then beat the Angels 18-4. So the Angels probably going to lose Shohei Ohtani coming this offseason. By the way, I saw a projection of his salary. It could be 10 years, $750 million, which would be the largest contract in sports history handed down. Tampa Bay sits at 75 and 51. They are 3 games behind the Baltimore Orioles for first place in the AL East. However, they do sit atop the wild card and are in no fear of losing any position there. The Cincinnati Reds are on a 2-game losing streak and now sit 4 games behind the Milwaukee Brewers for first place and 1 game behind the Cubs for second place. They lost to the Blue Jays 4-3, 10-3, and then tonight's game versus the Angels Monday has been postponed because of the hurricane that is just about to wipe Los Angeles off of the face of the earth, because Los Angeles is just always on a needle point, and it could just fall off at any minute. Just a stiff wind could blow Los Angeles off the face of the earth. So, T's and P's to Los Angeles, first of all. And second of all, the Cincinnati Reds. L.A. De La Cruz hit another inside the park home run. He's been outstanding. However, they are running out of steam. They're 64 and 61 and on a 2-game losing streak. In terms of the standings overall, the Baltimore Orioles sit comfortably 3 games ahead of the Tampa Bay Rays. The Minnesota Twins have opened up their lead in the Central, are finally 5 games above 500. They were hanging at or below 500 most of the year and are 6 games ahead of the Guardians. The Texas Rangers are 2.5 games ahead of the Houston Astros in the West. I'm really cutting it close with these sound bites, ladies and gentlemen. The Atlanta Braves are a whopping 80 and 43 and 13.5 games ahead of the Philadelphia Phillies, which makes my heart happy for some reason. I just hate the Phillies, I guess. The Milwaukee Brewers are 3 games ahead of the Chicago Cubs and 4 games ahead of the Reds. The Pittsburgh Pirates are only 12.5 games back, ladies and gentlemen. The Los Angeles Dodgers are the best team in baseball. They're 9-1 in the last 10 games. They're 76 and 47, and they are 11.5 games ahead of the San Francisco Giants. I should say the Dodgers are the best team in baseball right now in terms of win streak and stuff like that. Wild card, like I said, Tampa Bay Rays sit a good 5+ games ahead of the Houston Astros in the American League wild card. Astros are the second wild card, Mariners are the third, and then a half game behind the Mariners are the Toronto Blue Jays. And my Boston Red Sox are just hanging on for dear life, getting some pitching back down the stretch. Their bats are hot. The New York Yankees suck. They just swept them and put the Yankees on an 8-game losing streak. Are they starting to figure something out? Probably not, but they sit 3 games back. Still tempting these sound bites, ladies and gentlemen. The Philadelphia Phillies sit 2.5 games ahead of the San Francisco Giants for first place in the wild card. Giants sit a half game ahead of the Cubs, and then this is where it gets fun. The Cubs are 1 game ahead of the Reds, Marlins, and Diamondbacks. So we have vying for the final really 2 spots in the NL wild card. We have 5 teams, and then if the Phillies go on a 5-game losing streak, the Phillies could find themselves out of the wild card entirely. So a lot of going on in the National League. American League not so close, so good stuff coming down the stretch in baseball. So just a quick recap. Michigan suspended Jim Harbaugh for the first 3 games. Those 3 games are against Eastern Carolina, Bowling Green, and UNLV. I should know this off the top of my head. It's been a long day. Those should relatively, on paper, be easy dubs if Michigan takes them seriously. Just talent level stuff. I mean, no disrespect. I actually think East Carolina could have a really good year. I can't speak for UNLV and Bowling Green. The Orioles are hot. The Dodgers are hot. The Cincinnati Reds need to pick it up. And the New York Yankees suck. Sound good to everyone? Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. This has been a pleasure and an honor, and I will see everyone at some point later. Don't forget, check out 4th and 1 Podcast. We have a new member, at least for the upcoming season. Not CFP Insider Roberto. Bringing a lot to the podcast, bringing sense of humor. Wash your hands, you filthy animals. God love you. God bless you. Both. He does love you. May he bless you. Peace out.